Hi, Kat.
Ooh, you beat me. Hi, John.
How are you?
It's like a standoff. We never know
We never know who's going to start it. I like that about us.
Mm-hmm. I'm good. How are you, John?
I am well, thank you. Just getting over not being well, so I'm enjoying the wellness.
Good. Mm-hmm. Did you want to talk about that at all? Probably not.
No. It's really it's kind of boring and also possibly gross. So
Perfect.
No, just sick. Sucked.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you. I am too. I'm glad that you were not feeling bad.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
John, what are we doing?
We are doing, Kat, a podcast.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
I think so.
What's it called?
The name of the podcast is My Mistake.
Cool.
Yeah. What do we do on this podcast?
Oh, we talk about mistakes. Sometimes ours. Sometimes historical mistakes, which we call hysterical mistorks.
We do call them that.
Sometimes we have guests on to talk about mistakes that they've made.
Yes, we do. I noticed you said those in a certain order this time. It's a little different from the usual order.
Yeah, I'm mixing it up, keeping it interesting.
I like it. So which one of those types are we doing tonight, Kat?
Well, John, let me tell you. We have a special guest on tonight.
We do?
Yes.
That's wonderful.
I think this is the first time we've had a podcaster on.
Oh, so expectations should be super high then.
They absolutely are.
Okay. All right.
Our guest, her name is Ann Hicks-Bleecker. She is a podcast host. She is a friend of mine, and she's joining us here tonight. Ann, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Hey, Kat. Hey, John. Thanks for having me.
Hi. It's nice to meet you, Ann.
It's nice to finally meet you, John. I've been listening for quite a while now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yay.
It's my long-distance dedication.
I love it.
So, Ann, you know what this podcast is about, right? You've heard, as you say, you've listened.
I know your brand. I know what the what is.
Okay, that's cool.
I like it.
But I don't have any mistakes, so I'm not really sure why I'm here today.
Kat, why do you keep bringing these people in?
I should start asking people before they come on.
You know so many infallible people. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's weird. It's unfortunate. I'm sure you could think of something, Ann.
I went through my memory Rolodex and I was like, my memory's pretty shoddy. But there were two I had. So I had either a got too high story.
Great.
Okay.
Which
Love a got too high
I know you've
story.
never had any of those before. And then my other thought was, what about a series of unfortunate mistakes all in one trip?
Delicious.
Spring break, 1996.
Oh, wow. I love a spring break story, and I love chain mistakes, where they just, that's the greatest.
So I'm going to try to remember that as much as I possibly can.
Sure.
It's longer than I thought it was. I was like, oh yeah, that was probably not that long ago. And then I found my scrapbook and I was like, it's 1996.
The year that I moved to Los Angeles from Indiana.
You're from the Midwest?
I am originally from the Midwest. Yeah.
I too.
Yeah.
So I was living in the Midwest when I took my maiden voyage to Mexico. So if we get back in the Wayback Machine.
Oh yeah,
jump in. Yeah. We're in 1996 now. What are you guys doing?
I am in. I'm going to junior college. I graduated from high school the year before, and I'm in junior college.
Okay.
And I am driving a 1974 Cadillac Sedan DeVille from Indianapolis to Hollywood.
Hell yeah!
You road tripped it.
Yeah. Yep. Well,
Wow.
I couldn't afford to move any stuff, and so it was the biggest car that was in my family, and so we just shoved everything we could fit in there, and anything that didn't fit in there went in the dumpster.
Oh, wow. It's a simpler time.
It was.
Yeah, you didn't have to sell it on Craigslist. It was just throw that shit away.
There Craigslist? I guess in 96 there might have been Craigslist. Maybe?
No, I don't. See, this is where it all gets fuzzy.
It's a long time ago.
It's really, I can't do math, but it's a while ago. So I was 23 years old at the time. So I did do math for the story.
Nice job.
We appreciate that.
And I was living in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I was in undergrad school, and I was living with my best friend, who it's a best friend that I had since elementary school.
Oh,
We used to
wow.
live a block away from each other. We went to elementary school, middle school, high school, and then we went off an hour away to the state university. And we were roommates there. We were living in our first apartment, and it's spring break time. So you do as you do,
You do.
and you book a big trip,
Yep.
right?
Sure.
So, I mean, no mistakes yet. We're smooth sailing so far.
Great.
What could
Yeah.
go wrong, right?
Everything sounds perfect.
It sounds good, right? So I'm legally a grown-ass adult, right? I'm
Yeah.
23.
On paper, sure.
Yeah, on paper, I'm good. I'm legal drinking age. I live on my own. I have a roommate, but I live on my own. I pay my own bills. And I book a trip with my two girlfriends, my roommate and a friend that we've known forever. But it's one of those friends that love her dearly, but you can't really spend more than 3 hours at a time with her,
Got it.
because she just starts to get on your nerves.
I
Okay.
know her. Yeah. I know
Right?
that person.
We've all been there.
And you
right?
invited her on the trip. Mhm.
Naturally, John. This is genius. So we decided, let's go to spring break. Let's take her with us. And told my parents I was going. And my dad was like, all right, whatever. You're an adult. Have fun. And he had 3 words of advice for me. He's a man of very few words. He said, don't drink the water. You're not supposed to drink the water.
Right?
Sure.
He's never
Oh.
been to Mexico, so it's even better that he's giving me this advice.
For sure.
And then he said, and you might want to get like traveler's health insurance or something, because I don't think your university insurance is going to cover anything that might happen. Right.
Okay.
Sure.
So I get a little traveler's plan.
Oh,
And
so you
then
actually did that.
I did.
Yeah.
Very
I mean,
smart.
I feel like even though he'd never been to Mexico, those are probably 2 solid bits of advice.
So
Yeah.
far, great advice.
Yeah, I said he was a man of few words. I didn't say he was an idiot, John. I mean, he's a smart guy. He just doesn't say much. But when he does, it's solid advice.
I am also from the Midwest. I know this man. He has many faces, but he is that man. Mhm.
Yeah. And then he said, and don't end up in a Mexican jail.
Also good
Probably
advice.
the best.
Good advice,
Mhm.
right? And so the town that I was born and grew up in is a very conservative, small town. Still is. It's painful to go back home. But the school that I went to was like the big city, right?
Right.
But my one friend, the friend you can't spend more than 3 hours with, still lived back home.
Okay.
And to this day still lives back home,
Oh
right?
boy. Yeah.
So my roommate, she's like, I got to go pick up our friend. So she's got to drive the hour the night before our trip and go pick up our friend.
It's very nice.
boy.
Right.
Mhm.
And this is way before cell phones. I
Right.
mean, I didn't have one anyway. I had a Motorola pager. I was pretty fly.
Yeah. Yep.
That's-
I had one of those in 96 myself.
Mhm. I don't know why, because then you had to pull over and find a payphone somewhere. But
And they had payphones. You could find them.
yeah, right. So my friend goes. She drives back home and goes to pick up our friend, and she's like not returning. This should have been a like hour ride, chit chat, pick her up, come back, and the night is just like clicking away, and I'm like, where the fuck are they? And there's no cell phone, so you can't call. And I'm like an anxious worrier, nervous Nelly by nature. And I'm just like, something happened. And it's March in Wisconsin. So it's like snow,
20
there's
degrees
ice.
out.
Right. And but I can't call. So I'm pacing. And then my biggest fear is that like we're just not going to get to the airport the next morning on time. Right. So as it turns out, they don't stroll in until like 3 a.m.
What the fuck?
the day of having to go to the airport.
Oh boy.
So, and I barely slept because I'm just like, what the fuck? And I'm trying not to be that friend because I'm always that friend. Like, where the fuck have you been? I thought you were in a ditch. Like, the worst case scenario. Just trying to be cool and not successful at it at all. I'm just reading them the Responsible Riot Act.
There you go.
We are headed for fun times now because I'm all riled up and pissed off at all of you.
It's going to be great.
Let's go to Mexico together and share a room. This is going to be fun. So they finally, stroll in at 3 a.m. and my friend is intoxicated.
Oh, fuck.
They've been pre-gaming.
Out of her mind. Well, my friend went to pick her up. She wasn't home. She had to go troll the bars that we usually would hang out at and find her.
Oh,
Wow.
boy.
She couldn't find her. She finally finds her. And she's like, but I love this guy. Like, can't tear herself away from this whole shenanigans situation.
Straight girls.
They're
3
the
hours might be an
worst,
exaggeration.
right? So when she does get my friend, she finally tears her away. She gets her in the car. She's like, come on, we got to make this drive. We got to catch our flight. She gets her in the car. She's driving. My friend jumps out of the moving car. She's like, no, I got to go back and talk to this guy, right?
Oh, boy.
She's fine. But so as she walks into the house, I'm like getting this whole story. But the first thing, I see them, but then I smell something. And I'm like, what is that smell?
Mm-mm.
She had a bottle of perfume in her pocket of her jean jacket. And when she jumped out of the moving car, it shattered in her pocket. And I'm like, you smell like a French Bordello. Like, it just reek of like some shitty ass cheap 1990s perfume, right?
The trip is off.
Right?
I mean,
No,
Cancel
we
the
put down
trip.
good money. We're
And
like cheap
cancel the
college
trip.
students. We have to go.
I have one logistical question here. Your friend found her on the pub crawl. She found her, located her in a drinking establishment. Did they then have to go back to her house and pack? Because this woman was
Probably.
clearly not like ready to go.
Yeah, probably.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And so this is like, oh, this is great, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like we sleep for like an hour. We get up, we go to the airport. So not only is my drunk friend just like never left town, right? This is like her big trip of a lifetime.
No.
I don't know if any of you did you have like camcorders in the 90s?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so my drunk friend, the one you can't stand for more than 3 hours. God, I hope she's not listening to this.
We call them Sarah.
Karen and Sarah. And so Sarah,
Mm-hmm.
she wants to document this trip for no other reason. I mean, she's not like a budding cinematographer or anything. She's just
you
like,
didn't
yeah, this is just going to be for memory's sake. The camcorder is like the size of a TV news camera.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
It's like, it
suitcase.
takes a VHS tape.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
giant. And
The
you got to
battery
hold
weighs
it on your
10
shoulder.
pounds.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
giant. And she starts to document, like we're on Instagram, right? It's like old school Insta Live, right?
Sure.
She's documenting and narrating everything we do.
Oh boy. That's not
So we're
annoying
getting-
at all though. So that's
It's
good.
No.
not annoying at all. And she's already pissed me off, right? Because she was late and I can't stand lateness.
Right.
Oh, boy.
And she's like drunk and crazy and she smells really bad.
She stinks.
Yeah. And so I'm
How many
like,
strikes is that?
Right?
And
This is,
cancel the trip.
no, I'm die hard. We're doing this, cats. This is happening.
Oh, no.
I'm all in. So
Of course you are.
like we're literally like we're in the parking lot, we're parking the car, and she's like, hey Ann, where are we going? I'm like, Sarah, we're going to Mexico. You know we're going to Mexico. Like, enough of this, right?
you keep asking.
I do not remember, or like, is this for shits and giggles? Like,
Believable
what's happening
at this
right?
point that she might not remember.
That's fair.
And my other friend likes her more, so she's always just like, appeasing her. And we're walking down. This is when you could like go really far in an airport without your, boarding pass
Right.
and stuff, and
Yep.
walk all over the place. No restrictions. And she's just filming everything. So every time you turn around, she's got this camera. And so then she's like, tell everyone where we're going. Oh, it's 10 more minutes till boarding. And, just all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, please.
She's a seasoned traveler.
Right?
When you accidentally shoulder check the camera and smash it to the ground, it's like, oh no, I'm so sorry, Sarah.
Right.
Oh no.
So
What
real
a
fun.
nightmare.
Yeah. So luckily we get on the plane, we made it. So like I can check one of my worries off my list, like just getting all my friends here alive and on time. Like I should be able to rest easy, right?
It's an accomplishment, honestly.
Yes, it
sounds
huge.
like it.
And so she passes out on the plane, like hardcore, the kind you see in the movies where her head is resting on a stranger's shoulder. She's drooling.
Oh,
it's embarrassing.
Perfect.
But I'm delighted because she's quiet.
Right.
She can't whip out that fucking camera. And I can just relax for like a little bit. So no mistakes so far on my part.
Not
I'm
on
doing
your
great.
part.
No.
Other than inviting Sarah on the trip.
Yeah.
I feel like she was like a +1, like not my idea.
Okay.
Like couldn't say no to my bestie.
There you go.
Okay.
So yeah. So maybe not my mistake.
Okay. By proxy.
Right. So as we're landing in Mexico, we're looking out the windows because we're excited because we're coming from Wisconsin in March.
Yeah.
Hoping it's, we're going to be so warm. And it's overcast and raining. Mm-hmm. And we're like, whatever, right? So we land, we get our stuff, and the shuttle that is there with whatever package we've booked picks us up and is going to take us to the hotel. And we're in Cancun. And
Senior frogs.
oh my, don't even start, John. We're not there yet.
Oh boy.
I feel like we're going there.
And the second we get on the shuttle, they start serving us beers.
Sure.
Like as you do. Right.
Absolutely. It's Mexico.
Right. And it's like they stop at all the different hotels. So by the time we get to our hotel, which is further, like Cancun's shaped like a 7 in this hotel district. And we're toward the elbow of the 7. So we've got a ways to go. We're making all these stops and we're just drinking the whole time.
Sure.
So we get there. We're maybe like 3 beers in at this point. And it's not like it's a 2-hour drive. It's probably only taking us like 40 minutes to get to the hotel, maybe 30. And we can't check into the hotel yet because it's too early.
Okay.
So we're like, all right, it's not check-in time. We give our bags to the hotel people and they're like, but you can hang out by the pool. It's like, all right. So, but it's overcast, right?
Right. So it's cold.
It's chilly.
Yeah.
It's chilly. Yeah.
It's not great.
And but it's not raining, so whatever. So we're poolside and we're still not in snow, so this is still a win.
There you go.
Sure.
And so I'm chilly and I just I cover up with a towel and we take naps because it was a rough night before, right?
Yes.
Sure.
Fall asleep. Everything's fine. We finally get to our hotel room and we met some guys at our hotel that we actually met in the airport.
Okay.
Who still are hanging out with us for some unknown reason, even though we had the camera and all the embarrassing things that were happening, right?
Sure.
So we're going to hit the town first night out. And the first place we go to, these guys that we met, they had been to Cancun before. So they knew the lay of the land. So we're going to buddy up with them, which might be mistake number 1.
Okay.
All
This is
right.
Anne's first mistake.
Right. I'm a closeted gay girl, so I don't really want to go with them anyway.
Right.
But do what everyone else wants to do.
Exactly.
That's maybe mistake number 1 is going to Mexico with 2 straight girls when you're a closeted lesbian.
That's fair.
Not fun. It's obnoxious.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I know. Good times. So we go to this club and it's like, we're girls from the Midwest. This is like a crazy, crazy club. And you get in and it's just lights and it's loud and it's just, we're not in our element at all.
Mm-hmm.
And they have hostesses, waitresses, I don't know, who have these necklaces with whistles around their necks.
Okay.
And then they have bottles of red, sugary, tequila-y, sugary shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they blow a whistle, you turn your head, and the next thing you know, somebody is slamming a shot of this sugary red shit down your throat, grabs your face, and shakes your head back and forth.
Oh, the 90s.
And then they just put their hand out and wait for like their tip, right?
It's very aggressive.
Mhm.
It's extremely aggressive. But not alarming at all. Not alarming at all when you're 23.
This is
Hey,
why you're
stranger.
here.
Hey, stranger. Shove
Allowed.
that shit down my throat.
Yeah. This is
hear a
non-consensual
whistle.
drink service.
Right? This is in my notes, John. Did
Yeah.
I consent to this drink?
Oh.
No.
I think not.
And so it's like, have you ever in your like looked back at your life and thought, how am I still alive?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Because
we've documented many instances of that.
as a female, I look back and go, there are so many instances where I should not even be here right now.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit, John, you don't know me, Kat knows some of me, but I'm a bit of a murder head. Like I love true crime.
Sure.
Worst case scenarios are my jam.
Yeah. We're both murderinos.
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 Yeah. Truth.
So looking back, it's just one of
FSD,
those like, how did I survive this trip? Right. So, consent is iffy here.
Mhm.
You hear a loud sound, you turn, your mouth is agape, insert liquor, right? And then now I'm thinking this shot glass, one shot glass.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They never wash that shot glass.
No.
They just go from dirty mouth to dirty mouth to dirty mouth.
It would be
And
one
this-
thing if it was like straight tequila, because that'll kill almost anything. But
Right.
this is sugary red shit, and that's not good. Yeah. No, bacteria
probably like-
loves sugar.
Loves sugar.
And
I
it's
mean,
like
they grow bacteria in
sticky.
sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good.
Not good.
So the night goes on with lots of these situations happening.
Okay.
And then at another point, people are getting up on the bar, and that seemed like a good idea.
Okay.
So at some point, I'm on the bar. First night in Mexico.
Oh boy.
And they've got another bottle of said sugary shit, and they just have a hole drilled in the top, and it's a plastic, so they just squirt it right into your mouth, which is actually safer than the dirty shot
Sure.
glass, right?
It's
You're not-
preferable.
Yeah.
This is a step up from the shot glass. So things are looking better.
Oh, okay.
I love
Good.
it. This is groping rather than. Yeah, I'm not going. Never mind. I never said that.
Oh,
So
you did.
Oh, I
you
said
said it.
it,
It's
yeah.
there. So and as the night goes on, I can't believe I can even remember these things, but my face is getting tighter and tighter, and it's just feeling like weird. And I'm hot, and it's tight,
Right.
Okay.
and you can see my face now. It's red. It's as soon as I drink alcohol, my face gets red.
Got it.
So, but still, it's like not your usual like feeling, right?
Mhm.
So the night
Tight
goes on.
face. I'm trying to
Tight
figure.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tight face. So somehow we make it. And this is also like before Uber and before Lyft. And so your options for transportation are either the bus in Cancun,
Mhm.
which is so crazy,
Yeah. No.
a taxi,
hmm
or we just walked everywhere.
Yeah. I think bus
Oh.
or taxi, like they're both going to have vomit on the floor. Like it's just like,
And it's going to be this red sticky stuff.
there you go.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's already all over the floor of everywhere you go, right?
And also just the idea of three drunk girls getting in the back of a taxi.
Oh, Cat.
Sounds-
What could go wrong?
Sounds so scary.
Let's wait. It gets worse.
Oh boy.
So we walk, right? And
Okay.
we make it back. We all pass out. We wake up very late the next day. Somehow I've managed to have my own bed. I don't know how that happened, but
Nice
I'm
job.
like, yay. And I wake up, we're all, slow to go. It's sun's out. We're like, come on, we got to, wash up and go hit the beach before another day of drinking, right? Because our goals, we didn't plan any booze cruises. We didn't go to any Mayan ruins. Like we did none of that. Our plan was wake up, go to the beach, get drunk, go to sleep, repeat. Like that's all we were there
When
for.
Love it.
you live in a place like Indiana or Wisconsin, that's enough. You're just in a place where it isn't, the weather isn't trying to kill you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, we open our eyes. I turn over to look at my roommates, and my friend, my good friend, her eyes are just huge. And she says, "Holy shit, Anne, your face."
Oh, no.
And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "What the fuck happened to your face?" And I'm like, "Do you draw on it with Sharpie? Like, what are you talking about?" Right. But I can feel like it doesn't feel right. Like it's tight. It's hard.
Yeah.
And it feels swollen.
Oh,
God damn it.
And I'm about to show you something.
Oh shit.
Boy.
Visual aids.
I have visual aids. I get up. I go to the mirror. My face is redder than it is now.
Okay.
And it is shiny.
Oh no.
And it is gargantuan.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
This isn't the same day, but
Oh, dear.
Hey, listen,
Oh,
at
Anne.
least you're smiling.
Yeah.
can you see the white around my lips?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, here's what happened.
Okay.
Remember that day we arrived in Mexico and we couldn't get into our room?
Yeah.
Oh,
This white girl from Wisconsin
Yeah.
who hadn't seen the sun in months
Yes.
just was like, "I'm cold." And I just laid in this beach chair. And I don't need sunscreen because it's cold out, John. And these clouds are covering the sun.
Yeah, that's how the sun works, right?
That's exactly how the sun works. And the only thing that was exposed to the sun was my head.
Oh, good.
When I took that little nappy poo, turns out the sun was doing some stuff.
It
I
doesn't
didn't
quit.
consent to that either. No consent there.
No consent.
This episode is all about consent.
Yes. The importance of consent.
And here's the thing about me, John
Yes.
and Kat.
Yes, thank you.
I always have
Including me.
chapstick
Because you're a lesbian.
because I'm a chapstick lesbian.
I
Right?
have some right here.
And does it have SPF in it? Is that what
It has SPF, John. And sometimes when I put chapstick on, I get a little aggressive.
So you
And I get some not only on my mouth, but around my mouth.
Yeah.
So that SPF,
Look at that picture again. Hey, at least some of your face wasn't
no cancer
roasted.
there. We're not,
No.
not
No cancer.
totally protected.
Anne, are we going to be allowed to use that photo for promotional purposes?
I don't know. I'm so torn.
Because if not, I'm so upset right now.
Oh, God. It's amazing.
So I'm like, okay. And my friends are like horrified and laughing.
Of course.
And I'm like, it's going to be fine, right? Like, but this is just the beginning of what's going to happen to my face.
Oh, boy.
Because
And specifically to your face. That's
to my
wow.
face.
Oh.
So as
Specifically to your face.
so they're like, you're as red as a tomato. So like the rest of the week, I'm tomato, right?
Oh.
So that's my nickname for the rest of the week. Hey, tomato, coming over, right? And still, I'm not super concerned. I've been sunburned before, NBD, and we just like we'll wear sunscreen now. From here on out, we're gonna slather it on, right?
Good idea.
Right. So we go to the pool. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a hat on. I don't have anything protecting anything. We just got some sunscreen on. Right? And we're in the pool, which you know how the sun likes to bounce off, right?
Yeah.
It
And
does.
so we spend the day there, drinking, hydrating,
Okay.
and my friend, the obnoxious one, she decides she's going to get her hair in those braids you get. Right?
Cornrows?
Those vacation braids. Vacation braids, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Takes like 92 hours.
Sure.
And eventually we just ditch her because we're like,
Good.
I cannot stand here. We got to get ready to go out again, right? We got to take the day clothes off, put on the party clothes, which is just like a button down for me. I'm a lesbian. I have to take off this T-shirt and put on a sensible button down. So we, when I was looking at pictures, it turns out I got a braid too, but I just got one sensible tiny one.
There you go.
Nice.
I'm mortified that I even did that. So then night number 2, still hanging out with these guys.
Right.
This is only day.
It's day 2.
No,
I can only recall
nothing,
like 3 days.
Oh God! There's nothing worse than going on vacation and getting a bad sunburn the very first day.
It's like
Very first day, right?
The worst.
Yeah.
So, second night, we go to this bar. I don't know the name of it. I tried to look it up. And their whole shtick is that you can hang upside down from these bars in the ceiling and do shots hanging upside down.
That you can. You're allowed to.
You're so fortunate.
I didn't do it, but my cuckoo friend did. Sarah.
Of course she
Sarah
did.
did. Sarah was game, right? With her braids all hanging down.
She was all in, man. She's having the time of her life.
And how I know I'm old now is that I look back on this and go, how do you get insurance to run an establishment? like, where's your liability insurance? Nobody signed waivers. How is any of this a good idea, right?
Right. I've never been to Mexico, which, more's the pity.
We should all go, John. I can be our tour guide. We'll revisit this whole episode. We'll go to all the places I went.
But there's one place here in LA that reminds me of it's sort of like the model that I have of every bar in every resort town in Mexico. And the place was called, I think it's gone now, it was called Tokyo Delves.
Oh, of course. It burned down.
Yes, I had heard that. That's why, that I'd never been to a place where you were so encouraged to overindulge in my life. And
boy, did we.
Oh boy. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're in Mexico. It's day 2, and there are braids a-flying.
Braids are flying, hanging upside down. It's like, remember like the monkey bars in school, and you would hang from your knees upside down? That's what you're doing. And then somebody feeds you a shot.
I can't think of a safer position for an intoxicated person to be in than holding themselves up above the floor with the strength of their legs.
I mean, there was a spotter, but we don't know his background. We don't know.
What are his qualifications?
We don't know if he's like what his success ratio is like. We don't know any of these things.
Listen, he's always above 80%. Always.
It's like they didn't have an OSHA thing that was like, this bar has been accident free for 2 days. This one guy just erasing nonstop. We almost had like 20 seconds with no accident.
So close.
Like, is that blood or is that red sugary stuff we're all drinking? We don't know. Just keep going. Yeah, don't ask.
Could be both.
So at some point, my sensible friend and I had enough of our friends' shenanigans.
No kidding.
So we do what any good friend would do, and we ditch her.
Oh, no.
In Mexico.
She's with the guys we met a day ago in the airport.
Is that better?
Totally
is that supposed to make us
safe
feel
then. No
better?
All
problem.
good. This is all good.
Those guys, you've known them for 24 hours.
They're so nice. They're so
in Mexico,
nice.
that's like a year, really.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then we decide to walk back to our hotel.
Sure.
Okay.
2 girls, drunk in Mexico.
What could go wrong?
Kind of, sort of only know how to get back. No cell phones again. It's like, old school.
Yeah.
And we walk. And as we're walking, a police car slows down. We're on like this main strip.
You mean the policia?
Police, yeah. And we're walking. And they slow, and we're like, oh, shit. What did we do? Why are they stopping? And my dad's words are going off in my head. Don't go to jail.
Right.
Don't go to jail.
That was his third piece of advice. You followed the first 2.
Yeah. And so the car stops and the officer says something. And we're like, we're fine. We're fine. We didn't do anything. We didn't do anything. And he says something about a ride. And we're like, no, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We didn't do anything. We didn't break any laws. We don't know what they are, but we didn't break them.
Definitely didn't break them.
And so somehow through this panicked conversation, they say, do you want to ride? Of course we want to ride, guys. This is a great idea.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
So we say yes. And they put us in the back seat. And for a second, I'm like, is this a trap? Like, is this how they get people to jail? Is there like, we're just giving you a ride. Because I didn't expect to go in the back. I'll be honest. I thought somehow I'll cram in the front. I don't know. The back just makes it seem.
Maybe he sits in, like one of the guys sits in the back so you can sit in the front.
It seems scarier when you got to go in the back, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody knows this, but the back seat of a police car, the doors back there, they don't have handles. Not on the inside.
No. And they're like plastic and shaped funny so they can't clean up all the vomit.
There you go.
Yeah. They just hose it out.
Yeah.
No sticky red stuff for them.
The officer opens the door and we're expecting to get into this empty back seat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
There's 2 people in there already.
Okay.
2 guys.
Oh,
Okay.
better.
There's 2 of us. There's 2 of them. It's not a big back seat.
No.
Where are we going to sit? We're going to sit on their laps, guys. Because of course we're going to sit on their laps.
Why did you? No, that's when you're like, hey, you know what? Second thought, we're good.
No, but these are friendly officers, Kat. They're just giving us a ride home.
I don't know, Ann.
With these other cadets who are just sitting in the back seat, right? Because that's what happened. It's legit.
Okay. I'm gonna take your word for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming nothing happened. I don't remember anything.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
But so we get a ride back.
Christ.
And my friend is so drunk and not alarmed by any of this at all. And she just starts in broken Spanish trying to say, can you put on the siren? Because if you're going to be in a cop car, you want everyone to know you're in a cop car.
That's true. It's very fun.
When else are you going to get the sirens, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
So she just starts saying, the woo-woo. The woo-woo. So we get the woo-woo.
Hey.
You got the woo-woo.
We got the woo-woo.
You got
You haven't lived until you've gotten the woo-woo in Mexico.
I bet, yeah.
Sitting on the lap of some strange person.
I knew a guy died of the woo-woo in Mexico. I don't know.
Wow.
That's from drinking the water, John. It's the
Rule
water.
number 1.
Yep.
So we pull up to the hotel, and the manager of the hotel comes running out because he's like, the woo-woo is going off. And they pull up.
I didn't,
right?
I didn't know they left the woo-woo on.
The woo-woo all the way.
That's amazing.
It's a persistent woo-woo.
Go big or go home, right? And so he comes running out, and they exchange words, and they're like, no, they're fine. And we're like, yeah, we didn't do anything. We're fine. So here's my friend.
Oh, we have more pictures.
Totally sober.
She's having a great time.
With 2 of the guys.
So who are those guys? Are those the guys in the back seat?
I don't remember.
Okay, fair enough.
In this story, we're just
But I
gonna
just want to
yes.
say,
Yeah.
look how unpolice-like they look. I'm going to guess those were guys in the back seat.
Yeah.
Got it.
He's wearing.
These could have, they don't look official at all.
Nope.
No. So they legitimately just wanted to give you guys a ride home.
Unless I blocked something out.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Until you
I
said
made
about
it back alive.
yes, you did. Until you said about the woo-woo, I'm like, was this just a cab that you thought looked like a police car?
Yeah, did you pay them at the end of this ride?
No,
Because then you'll get the
it's
woo-woo.
a police car.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
So we got the woo-woo. So kid, my face is still expanding, right? As this is all happening.
Don't forget, everybody, my face is still expanding.
It's like those things you buy, like they start out this big and then you put them in water.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
those gummy bear
Dinosaur.
things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
That's my face in this
I love
situation.
those.
So
It's the opposite
again,
of a shrinky dink.
just this white part, which makes it easy to find me in the dark nightclubs because just this is glowing with the black lights, right?
That's helpful.
It's very helpful. Like, where's my friend? Oh, the one who looks like a clown over there.
That's my friend.
You can't miss her. giant head, looks like it's about to burst. Bright white lips. So
don't forget about the one braid as well.
Oh yeah,
the one
that's sexy. That's hot. So somehow my friend makes it home. Like we don't even care at this point.
Wow.
Right. It's a tough crowd. So then we make it alive again. Don't know how, because none of this, like, I don't even want my children to hear me. Like, I
That's
don't
fair.
like, this is horrible stuff. Right?
Oh, good.
Bad
You're getting the good
choices.
part. Okay.
Bad choices. So I wake up the next day and my face has developed blisters.
Oh no.
Like giant
Jesus.
fluid-filled blisters.
Oh, no. Anne, no.
Right. And this is the point where I'm like, should I go to a doctor? Like, I got this insurance. Like, should I go to a doctor? And then I'm like, no, because I just like don't really want my parents to find out like that this stupid thing happened. And I just really don't want it to eat into my drinking time.
And I
like,
think,
because you know how hospitals can be.
Oh yeah.
Fair enough.
But in Cancun, I think all the doctors are there for is to give you like Viagra or OxyContin. I think that's
Probably.
all they serve.
They're like, which, right?
Oxy? Yeah, Oxy.
So we end up just going to a pharmacia and getting some like lotions and potions and whatever. So we drink during the day, change into our nighttime drinking clothes. So this night,
Is this day 3? This is day 3.
It's all a blur at this
Fair
point.
enough. Sorry.
So this night, we're going to go to a foam party.
Oh,
Have you ever been to a foam party?
I've not been to one, but boy, have I seen photos.
yeah. I've never been to one, but I didn't even know they existed until a few months ago when I saw a Room 101 or whatever about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing.
It sounds like a great time. So this place we go to, again, hanging out with these guys who've been there before. Like they are just like doing our itinerary for us. So it's like, this is what we're doing, right? We're going to pay
helpful.
$20. It's helpful.
Yeah.
So we go to this place and the whole club is shaped like a bowl. So you have your primary dance floor down low, and then there are levels. So like it's staggered. You go up a few steps and this is like seating area. And then you go up a few more steps and there's another seating area.
Okay.
So it's loud, it's dark, it's thumping, it's pumping. Exactly. I'm getting PTSD from this job. And there's this giant cannon that shoots foam, and it's way up high, and it just shoots it down on the dance floor. It had its own Viagra. It's just doing its thing.
That's a visual.
Well, when in Cancun.
And basically all it is soap. It's just the suds from the soap just going at, and it doesn't go anywhere. So it's like you filled your grandma's bathtub too high with magic bubble, right? It just keeps growing and growing and growing. And this place is shaped like a bowl.
Right.
So in the beginning of the night, this was a fun time because we're just like waist deep in soapy stuff.
Yeah.
And we're
like
just
really...
dancing, having a good time. And then as the night goes on, it's getting a little deeper, getting a little slipperier. Everyone's slippy. Everyone's wet.
Yeah, fun.
And then it starts to get really high.
Oh, no.
And you can't breathe this shit.
I mean, I wouldn't recommend it.
Because when you breathe it, like you choke on it. It's like suffocates you. And it's soap. Let's not forget. We can call it foam. That's
call it what you want.
Yeah, call it what you want. It's freaking soap.
Right.
Sure, yeah.
Yep.
It's not safe. It's not fun. It's slippery. And the music is so fucking loud that you can't even hear your friends right in front of your faces.
Oh, no.
And now you can barely see them because the soap is so damn high.
Sure.
So Sarah takes a spill, right?
Oh, dear.
She slips.
Yep.
Ass over tea kettle.
Yep.
Ass over tea kettle. You can't see her. She just literally freaking vanishes.
She's down there like Jaws.
And we're like, she was just She's down there somewhere.
Gone forever.
And so she pops back up like a mole, right? And it's just covered. It's like everywhere. And you're trying to, at this point, you're batting it away to like make a path for yourself. You just don't want it to come by your face anymore. So you're just doing a lot of hand motions.
I just didn't make a joke. I want you to know. Just mark this moment. I didn't make a joke when you said you don't want it to come by your face.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
So she pops up, and this is the point where my anxiety is off the charts because I'm thinking, thank goodness she popped back up because you could literally fall down and nobody would hear your screams for help.
Exactly.
Right?
You would drown down there. So we somehow swim our way to one of the levels that isn't like completely covered in this foam.
Right.
And you don't have towels. It's not like you came with anything. You're just covered in giant gobs of like you're this monster creeping out, right?
Yeah. If they were smart, they would sell towels for $20 each.
Right?
Yep.
like little stadium rags or something. And so write this down.
Okay.
This is our new business plan. So we get to the level and we have these so you're just like scooping this stuff off you, right? I look down, I'm bleeding from the knee down, just like frank blood is just pouring.
Oh my God.
I don't feel a thing. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
This is fine because this is soap. This is all clean. Right?
This is fine.
So hygienic right now.
This is
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, this is fine. And so we make our way back to the hotel somehow. And we all pass out. Mm-hmm. We wake up the next morning. My face is still doing things. My friend's eyes are like blood red.
Oh, God.
Oh,
because soap has been in her eyes all night long.
It's a chemical.
It's probably like some powdered detergent. We don't know. Yeah. And our clothes that we wore the night before are bleached out. Like just giant white bleached out spots.
Oh, no.
We have a guest. We have new guests. Anne is muted, everyone.
Shh. This is what she's doing. Shh. Quiet.
Damn dogs. And so it's just like, how was any of this? Again, I didn't sign a waiver.
Right.
Nobody warned me, like, do you like those shorts? Like, did you pay a lot of money for them? Because those aren't going to look the same again.
No.
And so my friend has like basically pink eye for the next few days because it's just like, this soap thing.
Yeah, I was wondering what it might have done to your face, which was in such a sensitive state to begin with. It couldn't have been good.
I mean, maybe it saved it. Who knows?
Amazing.
It's possible.
Hey. So I've seen advertisements for foam parties.
Yeah.
They're false because that's not what it really looks like.
No.
As a matter of fact, our good friend Kat Burrell has a photo at a foam party.
In
Makes
Dominican
it look
Republic.
way better.
Little Katie Barrels? Yeah.
Katie Barrels. Okay, so I've been in a pool during it's foam hour at the pool. Mm-hmm. But you're in a pool. You're not being enveloped by the soap as much. The room full of foam. And for a shorter person, I would imagine it's not as much fun.
No, it doesn't take long before you've met your tippy top. Yeah. And everyone else's heads are still sticking out and they're fine. But you're panicking a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, a pool wouldn't be so bad because you could like go under and rinse off.
Right.
Exactly. And then you start over.
And you kind of always expect to drown a little bit in the pool anyway.
Do you?
I was on dry land. I shouldn't have been worrying about drowning.
That's true. That's true.
So I don't have any pictures from the foam party.
I don't know whether I'm happy about that or not.
But
That's too bad.
I do. So as the week is going on, my face is getting worse. And we're still going to clubs where they blow the whistle, they put the shot in your mouth, and then they grab your face. Mm-hmm. But my face is like raw.
No, not your face.
My face. So now it's like it's scabby and it's peeling.
No.
And there's alcohol going in there.
Oh,
and salt
God.
And people's hands, shaking me back and forth. And I'm too Midwestern nice to say anything. So I'm like, this is a great time.
No.
But yeah, so my moneymaker looks fine today. It's okay. But for weeks, I was like, just thick stuff peeling off.
Oh, my goodness.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that was Mexico.
It sounds like you had a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you go back the next year?
I went back like 5 years later.
Okay.
With a girlfriend this time.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So we're
So
out of the
older-
closet now. This
out
is
of the
getting
closet.
better. Yeah.
Older, wiser, gayer.
Older, wiser,
Good.
gayer. Didn't drink the water.
Good.
It was an all-inclusive. We stayed in the same hotel strip on the 7th.
That's
So I was
how you
like,
do it.
I'm going to take you to all the places that I can vaguely remember as being fun. But
Did you get
not
the
that
insurance?
place. I think I was working at a place where I had good insurance
Okay.
at that point.
So you had
Okay.
coverage,
Yeah.
international coverage.
I
Yeah.
think it goes without saying you stayed out of jail.
I stayed out of jail. I did not go in any policia cars. And but I did get super drunk and eat.
Uh-oh.
I'm not an adventurous eater at all.
Okay.
So it was
Okay.
like, I'm not going to eat that. I'm not going to eat that. And so like I ate some rice dish, whatever.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then we went to Fat Tuesdays.
Okay.
Okay.
And was it Fat Tuesdays? It was Fat Tuesdays because they had all those drinks. Fruity colored drinks. Whew.
Yeah.
And I got really drunk on fruity slushy drinks. And I got so sick. And rice coming back up
Ooh.
Oh,
doesn't do well on the esophagus.
no. It's
Oh.
It
kind of like,
was like gravel.
yeah, you're power washing it with pumice.
It was really bad.
Mhm.
It was
Oh,
really
no.
bad. And this hotel I stayed in was like this open room hotel. And the bathroom had these cute little saloon doors.
That's cute.
hmm
Cute. But they didn't go all the way floor to ceiling.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
So they were just like, you could see people's legs. And then like if you were taller, you'd see in.
Yeah.
But nothing is sexier than just vomiting your brains out in a bathroom where the door doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
But at least the
it's
vomit's
not
pretty
sexy.
colors.
Yeah, it's just very rainbow. I mean, I was out, so it was like, gay pride rainbow.
There you
vomit.
go.
Oh, okay.
Make your own rainbow.
But because of that, like I had laryngitis for like a week after that.
Wow.
Oh, man.
And I was also sunburned again, but not as bad. That's the first time. I haven't been back since.
I feel like we should all go.
We should totally.
We would
when
have
this
such
COVID
a
thing
great
is
time.
all done with,
Why wait? Come on.
We would have
Life is
such a
short.
great time.
I would have like 3 fruity drinks and be like, I gotta go to bed.
I'm done, guys.
So done.
Oh, man.
Well, I have one spring break Mexico
Oh,
story.
hit it.
And I didn't go to like a real university, so like spring break was just like whatever, another week. Like it wasn't a big deal. Like, oh, we're going on. It's like it's California. It's always sunny. Who cares?
Yeah,
So
but if you're going to a place where other people are there on their spring break, that's the
that's
whole
it.
deal. Yeah.
That's the deal. So we went probably early 20s, probably on the same, like probably a couple years after you, Anne.
Did we see each other? Was it the same time?
Not, it's impossible.
I'm older than you are.
You are, and it was a different part of Mexico.
And I'm older than you are.
We're playing that game,
Mm-hmm.
and I was the only gay person on that trip.
Mm-hmm.
We in our party included two straight girls who love drama.
Oh, my favorite kind of straight girls.
Sounds very similar to your friend. Anne.
Yeah.
And we ended up, we had some drinks. We were drinking, and they started a fight with someone else in the bar.
A chick fight?
It was a chick fight.
Hair pulling?
There was some hair
Scratching?
pulling, and we had to pull them out of there before the policia showed up because I wasn't going to go to a Mexican jail, a
No.
Rosarito Beach jail. My dad would be very disappointed in that.
All dads, I think. Would be
All dads.
So
Hashtag all
yeah,
dads.
we had to get the hell out of there, and that was my mistake, is going to Mexico with 2 crazy drama loving straight girls.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we should totally test out our theory
Okay.
that it's the straight girls that brought all the drama to the yard.
I'm saying.
And that if we just went with the gay girls, we would have been fine.
I agree. Let's test it.
Good plan.
Sounds like a plan.
John, we can make you an honorary gay girl.
I appreciate that. We have a lot in common. I mean,
It's true. Well, we do have a lot in common. So this is fun. So
yes.
I didn't really mention it at the top. So, Anne and I, we are fans of each other's podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Anne, is that true? Admit it.
It is. I listened to your podcast before you listened to mine.
That's true.
Yes.
But to be fair, your podcast started after my podcast.
But okay.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. What matters is
I met you first.
So we know each other because of our podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a particular TV show that Anne and I are both very big fans of
Mm-hmm.
that John has very recently started to watch
That is correct.
and enjoy.
John, are you an ERPer?
I think I qualify. I'm on season 2. I just watched episode 9.
I just watched episode 9.
Did you?
That's what I just covered in this week's episode, John.
Oh, so I can listen to it. See, this is the thing. I stopped being able to listen to the She Nerds Out podcast, or SNOP, as we like to call it, because they're covering all the current stuff, and I'm not up to speed yet.
Right.
Well, Anne, tell John the premise of your podcast.
So the premise of my podcast is I'm a newer ERPer, like Kat is.
Oh, I'm the newest ERPer.
Yes, you get a badge. Fine. And I had been trying to get my best friend, who also happens to be an ex-girlfriend of mine, to watch the show. And I was like, have you watched it? It's good. And she's like, no, I don't have time. And then finally one day she's like, are there any podcasts about this? And she and I have a podcast. It's our first podcast we did together called Etc.
Okay.
Where we just
okay.
X. So we did there.
I like
We're
it.
funny.
Clever. Very clever.
So we were doing that podcast, and then part of the problem was that I would spend a good portion of the podcast talking about the show and saying like, so I was watching the show the other day. And I'm like, you still didn't watch the video I sent you? No. So finally she's like, what if we do I watch and we do a podcast about it. So the podcast is her watching it brand new.
Uh-huh.
And I've already seen all the seasons.
Right.
And then we recap it together.
So she comes fresh off the episode onto the mic. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's delightful, John. It's
And
such a fun listen.
Sometimes I record her as she's watching it, and I get very good audio from that. And then I put it into our recap later. But she's very animated. She has big opinions, and just a lot of like freaking out moments.
Okay.
And it's
Delightful.
really fun because I know more than she does, which I
Right.
love. And I'm like, you think that's what's going to happen? Okay. You think that's what he is? Okay. And just finding out like who she wants to get together, what she thinks is going to happen. And I feel like kind of like a fortune teller because I already know.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
So
you know
John,
what the future holds.
You could actually listen to Why Not?
Right, because it
And-
sounds like, and it is Why Not, and that's WYNAUGHT.
That's
There you go.
right.
Yes. I could, because this was the thing. I felt bad. Normally, when people come on our podcast, I always love it when they say they've listened. And I was like, I should listen. And I'm like, I don't want to do that because what if I hear something? I guess I could have started at the beginning and been all right. So I guess I'm just a shit.
Well, yeah, you want to do your research before someone comes on, right? But
Right.
but that's part of my friend Casey, my co-host. That's part of her thing is that the fandom is this big life of its own as well. So
Yes.
there's all this stuff that happens on the Twitter, and there's YouTube, but I have not allowed her to go to any of that stuff.
Wow, you have that much power.
I'm probably
You sure this is the next?
and she doesn't want to spoil it either, but I'm like, you can't Google anything, you can't do this. So she's like very restrained in what she can do just to keep it spoiler free.
Right. Now, see, I'm not like there's nothing about each episode that I'm doing. So the thing that's crazy about it is I've seen so much stuff, and this has been noted actually on this podcast before that I follow Kat on the Twitter, and somehow because I follow very few people, so because Kat has a very active hub of Erper activity going on all the time, I see not just the things that she tweets and not just the things that she retweets, but like Twitter's like, this guy likes Winona Earp.
He clicked on this one time.
That's right.
Oh, no.
So because I don't click on a lot of stuff, all of a sudden, most of my feed is Erper stuff. So I have not logged into Twitter in about a week and a half.
Oh, no.
No, because I already knew some things. And I mean, I love the show. Like this show to me reminds me a lot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and to the extent that, and I want you to know this, Kat's just finding this out now. We went minimalist for our anniversary. Michelle and I, my wife Michelle, our anniversary was yesterday, and it's our 14th anniversary. And the traditional gift on your 14th anniversary is ivory. So we're not into that.
You've got her a bar of soap.
Problematic.
That would have been good, actually.
Ivory soap.
That's
Boy,
very
I got to consult with you on gifting options. But no, she gave to me a pair of Mr. Rogers socks because I'm a huge fan of Mr. Rogers. He is my hero. And
Sweet.
yeah, and I gave to her a T-shirt that has Buffy and Winona on it, and Buffy is holding Peacemaker, the gun, by the handle, looking at it like this. Well, like in a way, mistakers. And then Winona is holding Mr. Pointy, and looking at it in a funky way. And it's just like it was the coolest like shirt that I found. There's a lot though.
Is so exciting. That is so adorable.
Yep. So
But see, how fun is it to like have a friend come on to something like that, right?
Well, this is how Kat works.
It's pretty great.
She never once said you should watch this or have you watch this or anything like that. But you like, and she never bugged me or hounded me or anything. She didn't try to talk to me about it.
So Kat's a better person than I am.
No. I mean, I only just met you. But like just by the sheer enthusiasm of her and of the fandom, like, I mean, it's my whole Twitter feed now. I can't go on Twitter, Anne.
So sorry.
I know. And that I didn't even let, Casey didn't even have a Twitter account. I was like, you can't. And then listeners started wanting to like have interaction with her. And I was like, I don't know how to do it safely, guys. Like, we're all insane. Like, she's going to see something or get tagged in something. And so then we finally found a way to like keep it safe for her. And I just put these parameters out there. I'm like, listen, she's not allowed to follow you. You can follow her. And like, you can't use any GIFs or memes that include the show.
Right.
And so far, knock on wood, it's been pretty safe. There've been a few where I've been like, oh, that's a meme, then we didn't cover that episode. And people will take it down. They've been really respectful about it.
That's great.
But yeah, she's having the time of her life.
I love this model. It's sustainable. You could actually do this with other shows or other things where it's like, because the reaction video is a big thing, but I love the fact that there's one person who knows all about the thing and the other person who doesn't, and you get to experience both of those personalities.
Yeah, it's a great premise. And when I first heard about the podcast, people were talking about it on the Twitter, and I was like, God, that's such a good idea. Why didn't I think of that? It's such a great premise for a podcast. It's really good.
Well,
and it's so much fun to listen to. It's really great.
We could start doing it, Kat, from episode 10.
Yeah, let's do it. Tonight we're recording our first 3 episodes.
Fair enough.
So Kat and I met through like podcasting, and I found Kat because I was searching for Kat Burrell interviews, and I ended up at the Snop for that amazing interview. You had only had the first one out at that point, you didn't have part 2 out.
Sure. Fair.
Those
And
were
then
exciting times. I remember
just
that.
was like, oh my
was.
gosh, great episode. And then we both started listening to each other, and
And then there's just like, have a lot in common. And it's like, oh, wow.
we haven't met because of COVID.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know where Anne lives, John?
I don't.
Thousand Oaks.
Oh, T.O. Strong.
Theo Strong.
That's right. That's indeed it.
Yep. She
So there you
tests
go.
me sometimes. Sometimes she just drops it, like just like a lady's hanky as she walks by. She'll just Thousand Oaks. And if I don't go T.O. Strong, she's disappointed because I used to do it to bug her all the time at the
Yes.
beginning of the.
Now, if you don't do it, I get disappointed.
That's right. That's right.
Small world.
Well, Anne, this is the plugging portion of the podcast. So we've talked about your podcast, but give us some deets. How do people find you on out in the ether there?
You can find me at whynot.com, and that's WYNAUGHT if you're not a nerper. And you can find me on the Twitter at whynotp.
Why not be? I
Why
like
not?
it.
B.
Also, I think you might have merch available on redbubble.com, if I'm not.
John, you did do some homework. Live box.
Oh, Anne's got merch.
Anne's got merch. Anne does things in a very quick way. As Kat can tell you.
Anne does not fuck around.
Nope. So, yeah, all you have to do is look for Why Not on redbubble.com. You can find some great Winona-themed merch. And, yeah.
Really good stuff. Fun stuff.
Yeah, you can go to our website. There's links to everything there. And like you guys, we've got the voicemail option. You can leave us a voicemail. All that good stuff.
That is good stuff.
I love it.
Now, Anne, you said you've listened
Yes.
to My Mistake.
Oh, shit. Is there a test?
This is the test.
This is the point in the show where we have our signature sign-off.
I know this.
Yay!
So,
But do we say what? Because you've done it 2 ways. Do we just do the abbreviation or do we do the whole thing?
Your choice.
Yeah. Guest
Okay.
choice.
Whatever you want to do.
Let's go for it. The whole name.
Okay.
Now, do you want to take the spotlight on your own? Do you want us to all try to do it at once?
Yes, we could try to synchronize.
Okay.
Fuck
Fuck
Mike Pence.
Mike
Pence.
Pence.
That was terrible.
Perfect.
Oh, am I here?
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, this is not the intro yet.
Oh, so
You'll
I'm
know.
like, do I just wait for like? How do these amateurs do this here?
Oh, wow.
My podcast, I would have done it differently, but
Wow.